The next race will be the Bambinos.
Yes,
and
indeed. It's our
that
first
driver there.
final.
Our first final there. 3 minutes to go. But Riley Murrow has scored. He has the perfect championship score. 410 points. Even if he doesn't go out in this, if he pulls in and retires, there's a bug.
There's a bug on his tyre, and I can imagine if he starts rolling, that bug will cease to exist.
Okay, let's start the Save the Crane Fly. Save the Crane Fly starts here. On Riley Murrow's tyre, there is a rather large bug. Let's call him Graham. Oh, Graham, please move, because if Riley Murrow... Fly away.
No,
don't go down into the Eternals. That'll be the end of it for you, Graham. Yay! Graham lives, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh dear, we got far too invested. Well, I say we got far too invested. Oh no!
No, he's on the back of his neck brace. He's going to go for a high-speed ride round PFI in a minute. Murrow looking around.
What are they talking about?
Austin Oman's thinking, yes, keep distracting the champion. Keep distracting the champion. Riley Murrow saying, someone get Graham off the back of Riley Murrow. You're not allowed passengers on there. So Austin Oman is second in the championship at the moment, but just 2 points in front of Chester Forks. So who is going to be second in Bambino behind Riley Murrow?
Well, let's find out as the, I think this is the engine warming phase that they're going through at the moment. So, of course, I'll just be sorted out. Hopefully, Graham is okay on the back of Riley Murrow's kart there. They're just behind the number 44 on your screens. Cole Teal, yeah, currently at 5th in the point standings. He may have gone up or down a spot or two at the end of the heats. But again, a driver aiming for a seeded number this year, and I think that's very doable for him, as there is only 8 of them, and yeah, the top 10 go through. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out who is going to win the Bambino final. It's race 30 coming up next. Right, it's the next race. Let's find out who's going to be starting where. Pole position, Riley Murrow and Graham on that front row with Austin Oman alongside. Cole Teal and Chester Forks go from row 2.
Row number 3, Charlie Page and Ethan McClelland. Row 4, Daniel Ferguson and Harper Das.
There we go. So only 8 karts, of course. They'll make their way round. I am curious. I would love to get the roaming camera on the start lineup and just see if Graham's still attached.
I have a feeling that Graham would have parted company with Riley Murrow as soon as the engines were fired.
I beg to differ.
Well, I mean, Graham the bug. I haven't spoken to him, but I would imagine that his name is spelled Graham.
Yes.
Yeah, like a golden Graham. But I mean. It could be one of those modern Grahams, but I didn't have a chance to catch up with him properly before he flew off.
Yeah. At least he wasn't on the tyre. He did decide to move off from there to a much safer, shielded spot, actually. I can imagine just behind in the back of the neck brace. It might be quite sheltered. Anyway, we're going to... karting, racing. Like we're saying, in the championship for this one, looks like it's pretty signed, sealed and done for Riley Murrow. I think, yeah, it is done. So he's your 2022... Vera Tools British Kart Champion-elect in Bambino, and he will start on the front row this time around. Of course, he had a very close running for Austin Oman as well. Austin Oman very, very close behind. Of course, standing start for Bambino, and they've got to make sure everyone is good there. So you've got Ryan Manchester there holding the red flag. You've got... You've got the rest of everyone signed up. You've got Dan Ashton there as well with his tan trousers and blue trainers. And everyone good. So final checks just being made and everyone will get going. So, Henry, it's that time of year.
It is.
You know, we're going to be crowning champions
at
the end of these races, all afternoons now. It's been a fabulous season, 2022. We've already crowned a champion this year, of course. We've crowned a couple already in the form of KZ2. But this time, it's time for the Bambinos. As 3 red lights, 4 red lights, lights go out. Here we go. Great start from the entire grid. Austin Oman cuts off that approach from Cole Teal. holds off the number 44 and slots into second place. Riley Morrow and Graham leading the way then as they go up through the banking for the first time.
Now,
hold on, Graham.
One thing is that the Bambino Championship has been, it's only part of the British Championship since 2020.
Yes.
Both seasons, 2020 and 2021, we've had the last round here at PFI. On both those occasions, the champion for that year has won the final. Edward Haynes in 2020 and Austin Newstead last year. So Riley Morrow wants to go out with a bang. This could be his third win. He would still be behind Austin Newstead, who won all 4 finals last season. But for Riley Morrow, it would be 3 wins out of 4. Austin Oman, well, hard to believe that Austin Oman, he only scored his first podium finish this year at Glenagor. So he finished 7th in the championship last year, but he is chasing Riley Morrow hard as we come through the Mike Wilson complex, named after 5-time World Karting champion Mike Wilson, Barnsley's greatest ever sportsman, in my opinion. As they cross the line, Morrow looking at taking a long look at his mechanic there to get a signal. So the season started off at Warden Law, where Chester Fawkes beat Morrow with Harper Das on the podium. He then went to Glenagor in North Wales. Morrow beat Austin Oman and Fawkes on the podium. Last time out at Wilton Mill, it was Morrow from Ethan McClelland and Harper Das getting his second podium finish of the season. Das is a little bit off the pace this weekend, down in 7th place at the moment. It is Morrow from Oman, Teal, Fawkes and McClelland. Your top 5 are all there. There's a slight gap back to Charlie Page and Harper Das, with Daniel Ferguson off the back of the grid.
There we go. So now, this time around, it's not looking like a clear breakaway for our top 2 that we saw earlier on in Heat 2. Of course, Heat 1 was yesterday. They've only had Heat 2 and the final today. This time around, all a little bit closer up, which is nice to see. We've got a 5-car battle for the race lead. 12 minutes to go in this one, of course, 15-minute finals. And again, a big look over the shoulder there for Morrow, who I don't think actually at that point saw Oman was there, because Oman was a little bit further on the right-hand side and he looked over his left shoulder. So, yeah, I don't think he would have seen much of...
But again, at the
Oman's
moment, look at this early stages, the drivers, they're taking a leaf out of the cadet book and just staying in a line, not battling, pushing on. They all want to be there when it matters. Again, Morrow looks to the inside, but Oman was about half a cart's width off to his right-hand side, so we couldn't see where Austin Oman was. Now in 3rd position, the number 44 of Teal, under pressure from the number 38 of Chester Fawkes. Fawkes on the Fullerton chassis, coming down towards hairpin number 1, takes over 3rd place. Now they go up into the thing. Great camera shot there. You can see, you can almost guess which driver's going to make a move, judging on their driver's body language and their positioning up towards the Fullerton S's. This time, Austin Oman, again, just half a cart's width inside. You know, that's... shows that he could get. He's getting an earlier turn in. Morrow just signalling to Oman, saying, "Good work, keep it going." Oh, Ethan McClelland over the curb there, and almost bouncing into the number 44 of Cole Teal. That is going to cost them both a little bit of time, as Chester Fawkes now pulls into 3rd position and pulls away.
Now, the bigger karts, of course, can hit that curb and it's okay, but if a Bambino hits that curb, it's quite a sizable curb and they have to watch out for it. Pulling out of the slipstream, here comes Austin Oman for the race lead, and gets that race lead, only just squeezes that kart past. And now the top 3 with a breakaway now from the rest of the field, as Chester Fawkes, with the fastest lap of the race, has latched on to the back of these 2 now, leading the way. So it's Morrow from Oman and Graham. Fawkes still there in P3 as they go down the hill now into hairpin number 1.
If Graham is still attached to Riley,
he's definitely still attached.
He is. That is the world's strongest crane fly.
He's definitely still attached, and
but
probably the fastest right now as well.
And the biggest crane fly is petrol head crane fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loves his racing. Loves his racing.
Does
Graham.
indeed. Does indeed. Just hope he doesn't end up as a bug on the windscreen of the visor of the driver behind.
Yeah.
So, just under 10 minutes to go. Oman leads this race. And of course, we saw this earlier on, which was absolutely fantastic between these two. Having a good little scrap. We saw them side by side at points as well. And of course, with this opportunity, I think the bet that comes forward from me and Henry, I think who can go the widest. I think mine was 3 wide, I think was my guess.
Yeah, mine was 4 wide. Looks like you could win that bet, Anthony. Oman from Murrow from Forks, your top 3. Then a gap developing back to McClellan, Teal, Das, Page and Ferguson.
JBR Kiwi joins us in the live chat and says, last time I raced at Landau, nearly 20 years ago now, the race got red flagged due to a herd of sheep invading the track. That makes sense.
I remember that event. It was the only time we've ever used grid girls.
What, the sheep? Oh, to be Welsh. 8 under 9 minutes to go.
Yeah. JBL Kiwi. Is that some sort of...
JBR Kiwi.
JBR Kiwi. I'm trying to remember who that was. I would have been there. I remember it well. Yes. Into the Fullerton S's. So here's a Landau question for you.
Go on.
Name the only Formula One world champion to also be a Welsh karting champion. Genuine question. Answers on the live chat.
Okay. Now, has there been any Welsh Formula One drivers?
Yes, the late, great Tom Price. He wasn't the answer. He wasn't the Formula One world champion. Okay. Formula One world champion who is also a Welsh karting champion, a double Welsh karting champion, and he earned that at Landau both times. Back on circuit, it is Austin Oman leading Riley Murrow, and then it is Chester Forks with a gap back to Ethan McClelland. Into the first hairpin. Murrow, happy to sit behind Austin Oman, has been in this position now for several laps. Forks, again, just playing a waiting game. McClelland has faded 2.5 seconds back from these guys in 4th position. There aren't many answers. I think I might have some of our viewers stumped, but it's a genuine question. 1 Formula One world champion, won 2 Welsh karting titles.
And he's a world champion.
And he's a Formula One world champion, and he won them both at Landau.
British?
I'm not going to divulge any information. It's up to you to guess. Up to the viewers to guess. Into the Bruno Ferrari S's for the 7th time with 6.5 minutes to go. 3 Bambino drivers run nose to tail, neck and neck.
If Austin Oman can win this race, this would be the first final he's won this year.
Yes, it would indeed. And congratulations to Ryan Morgan,
who most definitely used Google.
Who definitely got the answer correct. The answer is 1992 Formula One world champion Nigel Mansell was a double Welsh karting champion in 1970 and 1972 in the 210 national class. That took place at Landau on the runway next to the existing race circuit.
And it baffles me why you know that.
Well, I know that because I did a history. I did a couple of magazine articles for Karting magazine back in the day on the history of the Welsh Karting Championship, and the 2 people that were very instrumental in that, they both passed away now, Harry Maund and his wife Evelyn Maund, who were stewards at Rissington and Landau for many, many years. Bit of a signal there between the 2 drivers. Riley Murrow now passes Austin Oman. I think they're trying to get rid of Chester Forks from proceedings. But they brought out the photo albums that they had from those events and the race results to show me that, that show me Nigel Mansell. They said they used to remember him as a young man. He was a nice young man. And then they took me across the road from the existing circuit at Landau to the old industrial estate airfield and said, this is where the circuit used to be. And they sort of marked it out where the track was back they used in the 1970s at Landau. So there we go. And again, a big hello to Harry and Evelyn Bourne's family, who are still involved in karting down in Wales.
Yes, indeed.
When I was racing, Mrs. Maughan, everyone called her Mrs. Maughan, and she would call the drivers to the grid, and she would her one shrill voice would be, "No smoking on the dummy grid." Because back in the day, the last thing most drivers did before they went out, have a quick tab before they went out. And it was usually directed at me or one of my teammates. But there we go.
I still do direct it at you. But,
anyway, Murrow and Oman, 1 and 2. Forks, third. Three and 3/4 minutes to go. The Maughan family was a part of my childhood down at Pembrey, says Bryn Alban. Yes, they do. Harry Maughan used to run a go-kart shop in Cardiff, and when I was 13, me and my dad went to have a look and get, to try and buy a kart, and it was Junior Yamaha. Ooh. And my dad, the primary school teacher, looked at the price of the kart, and it was at that point that the world of journalism and commentary became a little bit more appealing. Now race for the lead. Austin Oman still challenging Riley Murrow. Now there was a chopping and changing there, and it's good to see the people watching there. Yeah, the Maughans are down at Pembrey, long circuit. Yeah, Rissington, Landau, Dunk as well, and again that generation, that initial generation of people that are involved in karting in its formative years in the late 1950s, 60s, that they are now, a lot of them have passed away, and that sort of those last memories of that first karting generation. Of course, we're looking at the latest generation of karting talent in Bambinos now, but that first generation of people that are involved in karting when karting first came to the UK in the 1950s, the last few survivors of that generation are now passing on, and it's really, really important that we retain as much information, as many memories, as many stories, images and articles of that, so that we don't lose that part of history from our sport, because you never know, one day in 20, 30 years' time, when some of these Bambinos are journalists or commentators, that they have got the information that they can look back on to talk about, the history of our sport long after even the likes of you and me have
not that old.
Battle for the race lead, anybody? Yes, Oman and Murrow. Oman has it back.
Yes, he does indeed. Yeah, he gave it up earlier on. Not sure what that was for. Just like you say, you were thinking maybe they do want to drop Chester Fox. I think that could have been a good thing because they have done that now.
And of course, Austin Oman fighting Chester Fox for second in the championship. They were separated by just 3 points. So that's what it was all about. It was a case of, right, we need to work together. Murrow's won the title. Oman wants second. So let's work together, chop and change. And poor old Chester Fox, who was just 3 points behind Oman coming into this race, will have to settle for third in the race and also third in the championship. You're pointing, Anthony. You're pointing.
I just wonder if we could get the championship standings up because we've not had it so far this year, and I feel like let's get it up. The Bambinos. It's their last few laps of their.
There they are.
There it is. Riley Murrow. He is in second place at the moment, but he is got a perfect score, 410 points after drop scores.
Exactly. People are thinking, why would he have a perfect score? He's not winning this race. The Bambinos count their best 6 out of 8 scores. So in terms of the 6 scores that Riley Murrow is counting, that is a perfect score. Congratulations. Austin Oman, again, you can say he's opened that advantage. It was 3 points. It's now 6 points over Chester Fox. Ethan McClelland and Cole Teal 4th and 5th. In fact, Cole Teal, at the moment, in 5th position on the road, would beat Harper Das by a single point.
Yeah. There we go. The timer strikes 0. Henry, I'm going to get ready to go down to interview our
you've
race
got to
winner
go and speak
and
to the
champion of 2022.
Right, you run along. Here we go. Last lap. Board goes out side by side for the race lead. It is Murrow and Oman. Riley Murrow takes the lead as they go under the bridge, out onto banking one more time. Onto the banking. And now Austin Oman cuts back to the inside. Now Oman has it. Murrow's going to try and stay on the outside as they come across the bridge. Down through turn number 4. And Murrow's got the inside line for the run down to hairpin number 1, but Oman has track position. Into the first hairpin we go. Here comes Murrow once again, and Oman has to defend. Can Oman get the crossover? Yes, he can, but he's now on the outside line, and Murrow still has the race lead. Watch Oman now dive to the inside, going up the short chute, but Murrow gets a good run, and he's got the momentum. Plenty of time still to go in Bambino Racing, though. Into the Fullerton S's. Oh, Murrow's going to be slow onto the back straight. Here comes Oman to the outside. Can Austin Oman go around the outside of Bobby Gain corner for the race win? Yes, he can. Great move from Austin Oman. Into the Mike Wilson complex we go. Oman has it. Murrow in second. It's going to be a drag race to the line. But could this be a first British Championship win for Austin Oman? Yes, it can, by half a kart length. Oman takes it. Riley Murrow, your champion for 2022, finishes second. Third will be Chester Fawkes. Fourth will be Ethan McClelland. There is your champion, Riley Murrow, on the big screen. Perfect score, 410 points. Well done to Riley Murrow. And I think if he looks up at about this point, well, when he comes to the Fullerton S's, he will see that on the big screen. Yes, there are, looks like the family there, the Murrow family. Now, I believe Riley is the English family. There they go. Yeah, a big round of applause. And Riley Murrow now sees his face on the big screen. Oh, and he almost runs off the track. He almost ran off the track going to Fullerton S there, because he suddenly looked up and saw his face looking back at him on the big screen here at PF International. So that concludes the Bambino final. And also, I'd like to say a big congratulations and well done to our race director for that final. Young Willow Parker did a fantastic job of race directing that final. So well done. And I know that Willow is working hard on media in her school, and that would be a great something to put on, you know, a CV that you race directed around the British Kart Championship there. And I bet none of the viewers at home noticed that there was, a new race director at the helm. Congratulations, well done on that one, Willow. So Anthony Jordan will be huffing and puffing his way down to the pits at the moment to see the winners, Oman, Murrow and Fawkes. That was race number 30. The next race, we're going to decide an O plate. So we've had a British title decided there. Now an O plate decided in the next race. But before then, we will be speaking to the aunties now. And Bryn Alban, good to hear you, Bryn. Lee Morn still racing road tax until recently, and Mrs. Morn handing some of the trophies in the 1990s. Yes. Good to hear that Ryan Morgan getting the answer right, and Bryn Alban still watching karting, and there we go. All 8 drivers in Bambino finished that race. Ethan McClelland finishing 4th, Cole Teal finishing 5th, Charlie Page coming home in 6th, Harper Das was 7th, and the field being rounded out by Daniel Ferguson in 8th position. Unofficially, the top 6 in the championship, Riley Murrow, Austin Oman, Chester Fawkes, Ethan McClelland, Cole Teal, Harper Das, with Charlie Page 7th, Lewis Cacaldi in 8th, Daniel Ferguson 9th, and Jensen Biglands in 10th position. But Anthony Jordan is down in the pits with our top 3 drivers. Take it away, Anthony.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, a fabulous little race there from the Bambinos for the final time. Now, we will chat to our champion in just a moment, but I want to jump in with this man just here firstly. Austin Oman. Now, it's been all season waiting, but you finally finished the end of the season with a race win. Well done.
Thanks.
It's a long time running, wasn't it? I saw your dad come in. He was like, yeah, you've done it. But are you happy for everyone?
Yeah.
It was a brilliant race, wasn't it?
It was hard against me and Riley, but I won because he backed off because it would have caused a crash.
Ah, good driving then. Good strategy that you had there. But a great race you had with Riley all the way through that one. It was a good start as well. Some nice overtakes.
Yeah. I don't know what I was saying.
Who would you like to thank?
My dad, my papa, and my engine builder.
Yeah. That everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
Good man. Well done. So, high five. Give us that. Well done. First win of the season. Nice work. Right, let's chat to this man here, because Mr. Riley Morrow, you are our 2022 British Kart Champion. Well done.
Definitely a hard race between Austin and me. He's a good driver. He knows what he's doing. He's been helping me all the season to get where I have been. We've been pushing along, working together as much as possible. I knew eventually we would have won at least one race, but it was very unexpected for him to win this one.
Right, that's a lot of strategy talk you had there. But the talk we want to hear now is your celebratory talk, because you're champion. It's done, it's over, you've done it.
I'm really excited. It feels great to win the championship. I'm hoping to do well next year as well.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, to give you your number one plate is Dan Parker from Motorsport UK. A nice handshake.
Congratulations. Well done. Well
Brilliant stuff. And a big round of applause there from the rest of the paddock as well. Riley Morrow, our 2022 Wera Tours British Kart Champion. And a brilliant result there. Let's chat to third place now as well. Chester Fawkes. Where is Chester? He's over here. Chester, let's have a chat. Good race from you as well. That was third place finish. Nice work.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that one?
Not really.
Not really. It's a podium. You can be happy with that one. You've got a smile on your face still, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Next year, what's the challenge? Are you going to come back and do it again?
No, because we're going to go in Miami Bambinos, but Miami can't do it.
Right, okay. So we'll have to see what happens then. But end of the season, are you a bit sad it's finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want it to keep going?
Yeah.
Should we come back next week and do it again?
Yeah.
Good stuff, that's what we want to see. But congratulations, well done, P3.
Thanks.
Excellent stuff there from our Bambinos. And we've got plenty more races coming up next, so there's more finals. We're going to be crowning some more. Henry, we'll take some more back to you.
Well, great to see that after retiring from Quidditch, Riley Morrow wins in karting as well. Congratulations. And we don't always interview the Bambinos at the end of their finals. Sometimes these drivers age between 6 and 8 years old. You don't always get, much out of them when you have a camera stuck in front of them. But those three drivers there, again, great enthusiasm, great compliment, great sportsmanship. Riley Morrow, when Anthony asked him about his question, first of all, he spoke about how great Austin Oman was, which is fantastic to see. But the next race up will be the final for the Honda Academy O plate. That will be starting in 4 minutes time. 11 drivers set to compete in that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin the podium presentation for round 7 of the 2022 Wera Tours British Kart Championship here at PF International. And our first podium presentation of the day goes to the Bambino class, the youngest drivers in the British Championship. Finishing in 3rd place in the final today, it was Chester Fawkes. Well done, Chester. If you come and stand on the 3rd step of the podium, he'll get his photos taken by our official photographer, Chris Walker. finishing in second position today. It was enough to seal the 2022 British title for this young man. Please put your hands together for the 2022 champion, second in today's final. It's Riley Murrow. Proudly holding the #1 plate, which he puts in front of the podium. Congratulations to Riley Murrow. But your winner today, finishing off his Bambino season on the top step of the podium, along with his winning mechanic and dad, Tristan Oman. Please put your hands together for Austin Oman and his dad, Tristan. So Tristan gets the mechanics medal. Austin takes the trophy. Straight in the air. So what we'll need to do, we have to think, so drivers, now we need to make sure we look at Chris on the ladder. Look at Chris on the ladder. Trophies in the air. #1 plate in the air. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, your Bambino podium for the final round of the 2022 Wera Tools British Championship. Well done, drivers.